Welcome to this week's edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm your host, Mark Colachico, the Director of Media Relations here at Western Oregon University. I'm joined today by head men's basketball coach Brady Bergeson. Brady, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Got to be happy, GNAC champions.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's a secret. I think it's probably most teams' goal in the outset of the season is to be exactly that, conference champions. It's been on our board and very important to us for a while now, and it was great that the guys were able to find a way to get that done, and we're very pleased, very proud of what the group's accomplished so far.
Well, and you talk about being on the board. I mean, we're into week 16 now. This is the end of the regular season. You guys have 2 games left. You get to make that lovely trip to Alaska to play Anchorage on Thursday and then Fairbanks on Saturday. You guys have the #1 seed in the tournament locked up. There's no way that it can get taken away from you as the regular season champions. But as you say, you guys aren't done with business.
Yeah, we've got a lot to play for. We're going to go, we're obviously eyeballing the GNAC tournament as would be our next set of goals in line. And we would love to find a way to get that championship as well. And obviously the automatic bid into the region. If we're not able to account for that and find a way to get that done, then you want to give yourself every opportunity you can to get an at-large bid into the region, and so obviously that would be in line with our goals as well. So we expect to continue to improve and to go on the road and play in 2 really difficult places to play and 2 tough teams, and looking forward to that action this weekend.
Well, and we'll talk about those 2 Alaska teams a little bit later, but let's look back this last week. You guys had a tough game against Western Washington, but there was one highlight that came out of that game, and let's look at that right now. And there's Devon Alexander with a half-court shot there at the end of the half. I thought it was right at the line, but, I mean, that's a deep shot, Coach.
Yeah, that's directly out of our daily drills of half-court jumpers that we go through. No, it was a terrific little march at the end of the half there. I wish we could have kept up that kind of hot streak in the second half. Instead, we went ice cold. I don't think I've seen a team go quite so cold in the second half. I want to say we shot 18% from the field. So, look, you got to give credit to Western Washington. They did a nice job of defending us. They didn't make it easy on us. Mm-hmm. B, you got to flip the page quickly when you have a night like that. Every once in a while, you just run into it. I thought we got a lot of good looks. They weren't all good looks, but most of them were. And so you can't get too upset with your group when they're taking the shots that they should take every time out anyway, and you got to be able to live with that. So we flipped the page quickly. Friday practice was a very good practice, prepared for Simon Fraser, and moved on.
Well, and let's look at some highlights from that Simon Fraser game. As you said, you flipped the page quickly, coming off a tough loss against Western Washington, but came out really hot here against the Clan, and Jordan started the game with the 3-pointer, and then really good transition. You knew that Simon Fraser was going to press all night long, and layups were going to come as they came, and steals as you guys pressed. So talk a little bit about it as these highlights are being shown.
Yeah, so they started the game by pressing and doing a lot of trapping and doing the things that they've been doing all year long. As the game wore on, it was a tight game. It was back and forth, exchanging 2 to 5-point leads basically back and forth all game long. The hardest thing to deal with in Simon Fraser, in my opinion, is their level of firepower offensively. They can really fill it up at so many positions. And they do a great job of spreading you out and attacking you and taking advantage of the weapons that they do have offensively. And we struggled to stop them all the time. I think we just kind of barely got just enough stops down the stretch to find a way to outscore them. They gave us everything we could handle, and offensively, we really just tried to stay aggressive and do what we normally do, and that is find the open hands and take what the defense has given us. We were able to generate some easy baskets like the one you just saw from the defensive end in terms of creating some steals and transition opportunities, so we wanted to take that where we could. But again, the guys just did a nice job of bearing down and staying focused and being tough and gritty down the backstretch of that game to finally find a way to get it done.
And as you saw there, Lewis Thomas hit that three that started a comeback from a 7-point deficit, and then there's back-to-back threes by Julian Nichols, who had a career night with 34 points, and I think he had this one circled on his calendar.
He played great. He was terrific. He carried us in patches for sure. We had to ride him pretty hard, and he really got going. I thought he let the game really come to him. Could have been even more aggressive early on, and believe it or not, probably could have scored even more points. But I thought he let it come to him. They continued to give him some open windows and space. I think they were trying to keep him out of the paint as much as they could, and so he ended up, again, taking what they gave him, and that happened to be a lot of open jumpers. He took those and waited on the other opportunities. But when the defense collapsed on him, he also got rid of it. I really praised our guys' defensive efforts because we were having a hard time stopping them in the second half as that game went on. I really think it took everything we had, and our guys really kind of bared down and found a way to get a stop or two late that sort of allowed us just to get the edge there in the closing minutes.
And I think you talk a little bit about the weight on the guy's shoulders, just knowing that a win gets you the GNAC championship. And I think we've got a couple of videos here that really show how you guys let the weight go. You guys celebrated really well afterwards, not only as a team, but you guys really incorporated the crowd. Lewis, you and him here embracing each other, and then I know at some point in this video he'll thank the crowd with a nice wave, and I think that's what you guys have done all year. You guys have really brought the fans onto the floor.
It's such a special group of kids, and just so pleased that they were able to. Oh yeah, here's the video. Okay, I think this was. Yeah, I think this was on Twitter before we ever got to the locker room. I promised the team, they made me promise. I promised preseason that if we won the GNAC title that I would do the shmoney dance at center court. So as promised, I delivered. I didn't know what the shmoney dance was until I had to have Julian show me, but I hope I did it some kind of justice. I don't know. My wife watches that about 10 times a night and just laughs out loud at my expense. But look, it's just part of the fun. We definitely got to let a little of the air out of the tire there at half court afterwards, and I think it's important that you enjoy the moments when they come. Those are important moments. They're hard to get, and so much has gone into the struggle and the sacrifice of having an opportunity to win a championship like that, that I'm really pleased that this group of seniors, A, the staff, B, and of course the entire team got to share in that experience, and that was a lot of fun.
And then, we'll wrap up here quickly just talking about this weekend. As I said earlier, you guys are making that lovely trip to Alaska, taking on a hungry Anchorage team. I think both teams are going to be hungry. I mean, it's been almost 3 months since you saw these teams. I mean, you guys are different, they're different. What are you guys looking at this weekend?
Yeah, it is, as opposed to the other teams that you play on a week and then 4 weeks later you play them again and they're still fresh in your mind. These guys are not. So, at this point in time in the season, we are who we are, they are who they are. Both teams are substantially better than they were in early December. And, but they know what we're going to do and we know what they're going to do. And you just have to spend a little bit more time on the scout, because there's a little bit less familiar. But other than that, I mean, there's very little difference in terms of the way you prep. We're trying to refine a lot of details right now. At this point in the season, you try to make rest your friend a little bit and get an extra ice bath session or a body mobility session in, and making sure that the rest blocks make sense. And then you're really trying to refine details. So we're very detail oriented right now. We're trying to clean things up as we go. There's a lot less big picture stuff that, we've got our stuff in, and now it's just about, refining everything that we can do. And as long as we stay hungry and focused on those things right there, make good decisions, I think this team can do a lot of things still to come. I think think that we've got some more left in us.
And then fans, just one thing you might not know about, but Coach Bergeson and the men's basketball team, they'll be featured on KGW Channel 8 in the Portland area tonight. They'll be a part of the 6 o'clock news. So, talk a little bit about that. You've been here for 4 years. You came from Sac State, where there's a little bit more of a media presence down there. But in the last 2 weeks, you've been in the Orange County Register, you've been in the Statesman Journal, and now KGW. Obviously, success breeds media coverage, but is this something that you guys relish or take advantage of?
I don't really look at it that way. The attention that's coming to the program, of course, is a byproduct of success. And when you have the success and it catches people's attention and they want to come in and inquire about it and share it with the community, it's a great opportunity to get your brand out there in front of people, but also just make people aware of who you are, what's going on, and then hopefully that opens the book for people to recognize all the great things that are going on at the university. And that's really our role in it, is the way I see it, is that we can be one of the entities on campus that can be out in front and raising awareness. I think everybody at Western Oregon understands that it's sort of a best-kept secret kind of place, and that's great, but it'd be even better if it wasn't a best-kept secret. And more people were really drawn to it and had been on campus, within the state, within the region, and were aware of it and all this great strengths. 'Cause it's a beautiful place, it's wonderful people, it's an incredible place to live and work and be, and go to school. And so we want to spread that word and get the name out there a little bit more. And so we're going to do everything we can to do that. It's a great honor to be interviewed by any of these people, and that they'll take time to inquire about us and pay attention. So we're just pleased to have that ability to do that.
Well, and Coach, I definitely agree with you on there, as Western Oregon is a great place to be, and it's just a great opportunity to get out and spread the word. And we wish you guys good luck this week. You guys are wrapping up the regular season in Alaska. As always, go get them. And then, fans, if you want to follow everything there is to know about men's basketball, be sure to tune in to this show on a weekly basis. Check out WooWolves.com, but we'll see you next week. And as always, go Wolves.